Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Just using the computer in my son's room. He's off to college, and I just needed to shift the energy a little bit. So I'm coming. Yeah, I'm going to do the meditation for my son's room, and so thanks for joining. And we'll start at in just about another minute and a half or so. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's see here. It is Thursday, March 18th, and I'm just kind of breaking the energy up a little bit. I've been meditating from upstairs in my meditation yoga room for the last 3 days after returning home from mom's. And just being honest with you, I have been disconnected from myself. I've been feeling disconnected from God. So I just want to get out of my head a little bit and just get back into my heart and shift and do approach this on a different level. It might be a fair amount of stillness today, of just noticing the breath, or noticing the silence, or noticing the awareness. The one thing I am committed to all of you with is to not just speak words from my head because I know what's true. From a mental perspective, that's not enough for me. It has to be words that come from my heart, and it has to be a vibration and energy that comes from my heart. And even if my words fall short, I don't want the energy or the vibration to fall short. I want it to be an energy of love, compassion, just grace, compassion, and healing. So I think what I'd like to do is just start off with a prayer, and yeah, just start off with a prayer in moving this in the right direction. So please, if you haven't already, just getting yourself comfortable, just allowing yourself to fully just just surrender into the chair or couch, floor, bed, whatever you're on. Just allow your body to completely and totally relax. Just allow your body to completely relax. And just taking in a nice deep breath. And just letting go of all the past, letting go of all the future, and just be present right here, right now. And there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do other than just to be here now. I've said many times that what I have to offer you is my honesty, my truth. And my honesty and my truth is sometimes I feel disconnected, sometimes I feel lost. And what's also true is I've connected with the truth of who I am enough times to have a complete knowing that I know my true self can never ever be lost, nor can yours. The truth of who we are can never dissipate, it can never diminish, it can never go away. It's you, it's me, and that can never go away. That I can say with complete confidence. And Times when we're not in our hearts, it doesn't mean that love ceases to exist. It means that we're not, that there's something, some fear or energy that blocks us maybe from recognizing the love that is here right now in this moment. And that's the same thing with the you. We can't get rid of the you, but we can sometimes get caught in the person that keeps us from recognizing the true you in the present moment. But the truth is, we can never ever be lost. We can only be caught in the person who thinks we are lost. And so right now I just invite you just to really fully relax into this moment, and I invite you to let go of any intention or any agenda of how you think meditation should go, and I'm going to do the same thing. Let go of any trying or effort to control or manipulate life. Just give this meditation over to God and have trust and faith that it will be directed in the way that it needs to. Heavenly Father, it's hard to even pray to you sometimes, because when I'm rooted in the truth of who I am, I see that you already know and hear every need that I have and every need that everyone here in this meditation right now or on this video needs. You know exactly what we need. So I hesitate to even pray, and I don't know if I want to ask anything from you, because I know that you have everything to give to us, and that which you do give is always for our greatest good. So from that perspective, there's nothing to ask for. What I do pray, though, for is that I give this meditation, that all of us just give this meditation over to you. Help us to get our egos, our personalities, our person out of the way, that we just return home to the truth that we have always been and that we will always be. And we do pray that you help us to empty out all those things, all those lies and illusions that get in the way, to see that we are everything that we have been looking for. We are the peace, we are the joy, we are the love, and we are the truth that we have always been seeking. And we give this over to you to guide us and show us the way that we may return home to the truth of who we have always been. And we also invite in the guides, the teachers, the angels, all those beings of love and light that align with Father's will for us, to guide us, to heal us, to fill us with grace and compassion, and to open our minds. And we thank you, Father, and we thank all those beings of love and light that have come forward to assist us in this meditation. We give this entirely over to you, and for that we say Amen. And so just coming back to being aware of your breath. And about the breath is, of course, that it doesn't require us to do anything. It doesn't require any trying, nor does it require any effort. It simply connects us with the one who is aware of all of it. The one truth of who we are, the one who is aware of the breath, who is aware of the thoughts, who is aware of the feelings, who is aware of even the thought and belief that we are disconnected in some way. or that maybe we're not enough. It's aware of that thought or even that belief. And right now I'm feeling drawn to just share with you where I'm at. And perhaps I will be a living example. I will just share what is coming through me without judgment and without a need to fix or change it. So right now in my head, there is a part of me that feels disconnected, that feels afraid that I won't provide the meditation that my mind wants you to have. I'm just noticing these thoughts. Noticing that I want this meditation to go in a certain way. Wondering if I am done with meditation. No, that I need to let go of any attachment that I have to teach. And I truly don't know where this is going or where you would have it go. I only know the words that are flowing through me right now. And to know that that is enough and that is perfect in and of itself. I was once listening to Muji, and he was talking about opening your heart. And he said, there's nothing to open because you are already love. You are already peace and joy. So there's really nothing to do with opening the heart. And yet at the same time, I feel compelled sometimes to just invite you to open your heart. Because sometimes opening the heart, opening the mind involves returning to the truth of who we are. And so I would say right now, just allow in love, allow in peace, allow in joy, and allow in praise and gratitude for life. And allow in grace. I love the energy of grace. I love, love, love the energy of grace, because to me, when God in taking doing a retreat with Muji, he would always say, "My grace is upon you. I am with you. I support you. I am committed to your awakening." I share this because I know this is true for God. I know this is true for Jesus. I know this is true for the saints and saints who watch over us and that are with us. Their grace and their love are always with us. Always. And then it just becomes a matter of, are we allowing it into our hearts? You know, sometimes when we're going through difficult times, and to be honest with you, I may be doing this meditation for me. Actually, it's not me doing the meditation. I feel I'm doing my best to get out of the way of the meditation. So I don't know if God is bringing this meditation for me, for you, for all of us. Only thing I can do is just allow the words to flow through that are at the tip of my tongue and continue to know what I'm going to say. Just the words flow. And that is enough. And I know that whoever needs to be here will be here to hear these words and to be part of this experience. And maybe that's all it is, just for me to be of some of the things that we go through and to have compassion for our humanness in the process, to not beat ourselves up or to judge us when we feel like we have fallen away from God. And I do say feel like, because that is simply a perception and a belief. But I've had direct experience of my true self enough times to know the truth, that the truth of who I am, the truth of who you are, can never ever leave us, because it is us. And yet sometimes we feel so identified with our person. It's like, why is this happening to me? How do I get out of this experience? And what is it that I need to do to return home? And then typically what we'll do is we'll turn to our head for the solutions. I need to figure out why I'm disconnected. And of course, that puts us more into our heads versus our hearts. Even in my perception that I am disconnected, I actually feel the word flowing through me, that I feel need to flow through me. And I also want to be a channel of love right now, because I also know that when I am a channel of these things, it's the very thing that I need to do to return to these things. And you hear many teachers, awakened teachers, who will say, if you want more love in your life, give more love. If you want more joy in your life, give more joy, be joy. If you want more peace in your life, support others in being peace. And so for me, this is a wonderful opportunity right now to share my love, to share my peace, to share my joy with you, and to share certainly grace and compassion for our humanness. Compassion for our humanness, to know that sometimes we're just having a human experience. We're having an experience of feeling like we're in the person. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. And the more that we're at peace with it and just allow it to be as it is, the more we open our hearts to return home to who we already are. And part of me earlier, when I was noticing this continual experience that I'm having, part of me wanted to apologize for not being connected with myself and with God. But I know the truth is, God does not need an apology nor want an apology. If I were to apologize, it would only be for my own sake. But I recognize that it's only my person that wants to apologize. Only that, because it's only my person that feel diminished or less than, or that it feels it made a mistake in some way, that I've fallen short to God, with God, that I've let God down in some way. Because the core truth of who I am and who you are never feels less than, never feels diminished, and flowing with God, so there is no mistakes involved. It's pure divine truth. And when we are rooted in the truth of who we are, only truth and love and peace and joy can flow through that core essence of who we are. Right now, my mind wants to fill space, fill the silence with something. But maybe it's the silence that's the perfect thing that's needed. I don't know. But right now, I invite you just to notice and be aware of your breath. And just even notice how supported we are just even with the breath. That this body, this shape, this form that has allowed us to have this experience in this world, a world of shape, a physical world, and this body provides the breath that we need to keep this body alive over and over. But whether this body is alive or not, the true you remains. And so the experience we have is really simply up to life in God, which is always bringing us exactly what we need to help us to return home to who we already are. And to return home, there is absolutely nothing you need to do to earn the truth that you already are. You don't need to save the world. You don't need to go out and heal the world. You don't need to go out and send love around the world and joy around the world. And I'm not saying that you can't do these things. I'm saying this as something that you don't have to earn your way back to the truth that you already are. If you express love and joy and peace and healing energy, wonderful. But don't do it out of obligation or duty that you need to do this or you have to do this to earn your way back into heaven, meaning that heavenly state, that place of peace and joy that goes beyond the mind and the body. You don't ever have to earn your way back to who you already are. Many years ago, as I was exploring my relationship to God, and I said, Father, I really don't know who you are, but I know this, that I don't want to serve you out of duty and obligation. If I am to serve you, I want it to be out of joy. I want it to be because I truly feel grateful to serve you, not because I have to. And I love that. And so what happened for me is I went on this journey of discovery. I went on this journey to be committed to fully awakening to the truth of who I am. I didn't use those words at the time. And probably didn't have, I know I didn't even have that awareness that was impossible at the time. Didn't know anything about enlightenment. I just knew that I wanted to return to a place of happiness within myself. That's all I knew. And I felt God was the path to do that. But I also felt I didn't want to serve out of obligation and duty. And so, yes, it's absolutely beautiful to serve. It's beautiful to share love. It's beautiful to share compassion and grace, but not because you have to, because you feel compelled to, that there's something that within you that feels like it has to and wants to share these joys. And that's how it's been for me with meditation. But with that said, if I'm being completely honest with you, it has not felt that way for the last 4 days. And yet what's also true for me, as these words flow through me and my heart begins to open, I'm so grateful to be sharing this meditation with you right now. And I will continue to share it until I feel otherwise. Right now, I just feel grateful that God continues to work with me and just to have the trust and faith that even though I feel disconnected, to recognize and remember that, and to have the faith and trust that God is still on my side. And I don't know, I truly don't know why I'm going through this. And I could get in my head trying to figure that out, but that would only take me further away from recognizing God and further away from recognizing who I am than if I didn't. And I say that it would take me further away from recognizing God, further away from recognizing myself, because in truth, God is never any distance away from us, no more than you are any distance away from your true self. You don't have to move one single inch to return home to you who you are, because there's no distance between you and your true self. You are your true self. There can't be any distance. So when I say return home to recognizing the truth, meaning that there's no place to travel to return home to God. There's no place to travel, no distance to travel to return home to who you already are. There's only that recognition. Recognizing who you already are. And so right now I just invite you to let go of all the things that you have identified with as the truth of who you think you are. All your self-images, all this conditioning, all these beliefs, all these ideas, and the personality, the person, any way that you would describe yourself, just let it all go. All of it. Even those good descriptions. Because if there is a good description of who you are, it means that you're still caught in duality, because you're still caught in the world of good and bad. And as long as you're judging something about yourself as being good, that means you're still caught in the duality, and you're going to judge somebody else as bad when they don't meet those mental expectations. And ultimately, by emptying out all these ideas of who you think you are, all these beliefs, the concepts, labels, descriptions, you have to go beyond all descriptions in order to return to that core truth that you already are. Because that core truth, the words will always fall short in describing that truth. You can never fully describe the truth of who you are, because it's a pure beingness and has nothing to do with any description. In fact, you lose all descriptions. So the reason we do these meditations the way we do is we have to strip away all the ideas of who you think you are, so that the only one truth remains is who you are. And I shared this the other day, that I think it was Michelangelo, that when somebody asked him, how did you carve such a beautiful angel? And he said, I just held the vision of the angel and chipped away everything that it was not. And that's all we're doing right now. We're chipping away of everything that you are not. So we empty, 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 empty. All the descriptions, all the labels, all the things that you have identified with as the truth of who you are. When I did a workshop a couple times with Sadhguru, and maybe some of you have seen him on YouTube. He literally has, I believe, hundreds of millions of followers in the world. He's spoken at the United Nations to speak on peace. He speaks regularly to the Prime Minister of India as to a guiding force. Well, one of the things that he said in the retreat or the workshop was, he said, I would much rather have you say that you don't know who you are than rather you do know who you are. Because if you think you know who you are, then it's going to get in the way of who you truly are. In other words, your glass is so full of what you think is who you think you are, that there's no room to open up to the truth of who you are. The cup is so full, there's no room to bring some truth into it. Instead, it's just a bunch of ideas of what you think the truth is. And so, if you let go of all these ideas to say, this is who I am, we can make room for that who you are that is beyond any label and description. And what happens when people first get on this path and they're not sure what that means, they begin to empty out that which they are not,